A revolutionary floating dam that traps plastic bags, bottles, and other waste choking the world's oceans will be tested at sea for the first time next year. The Ocean Cleanup Organization will be installing a 328 feet long, 100-meter, barrier segment in the summer of 2016 in the North Sea, 14 miles, 23 kilometers, off the coast of the Netherlands. Most ocean waste collection schemes use boats to scour for the plastic in which dolphins, seals and other sea creatures become entangled. Ocean Cleanup's barrier, however, uses currents to passively ensnare waves of garbage, while allowing fish and other sea creatures through. It will be the first time our barrier design will be put to the test in open waters, the foundation said. The main objective of the North Sea test is to monitor the effects of real-life sea conditions, with a focus on waves and currents. The motions of the barrier and the loads on the system will be monitored by cameras and sensors. The floating barriers are regarded as one of the most critical elements of the concept, since they are responsible for capturing and concentrating the plastic debris. After extensive computer modeling and scale model testing in controlled environments at the Delta Ares and Marin basins, engineers involved in the project now believe it is time to move the barrier to the next stage of development. By 2020, the Ocean Clean project hopes to have installed a 62-mile-long, 100 km, V-shaped floating barrier in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a vortex in the North Pacific where trash collects. The area has a severe pollution problem, with approximately 1 cubic meter of pollution per person washed up each year, and the local government hopes the initiative will be a solution to the problem. The method will be environmentally friendly as aquatic life and the currents are able to safely pass underneath the buffers, but the plastic will be gathered on the surface. Each arm of the V will consist of a screen 10 feet, 3 meters, deep that blocks waste and directs it to a central point where it can be collected for recycling. The technology was designed by Dutch innovator Boyan Slat, 21. His aim is to rid the seas of millions of tons of plastic waste, but instead of conducting a sweep of all the ocean's junk, he plans to creatively let the ocean clean itself. Slat wrote on the Ocean Cleanup's website, "Taking care of the world's ocean garbage problem is one of the largest environmental challenges mankind faces today. Not only will this first cleanup array contribute to cleaner waters and coasts, but it simultaneously is an essential step towards our goal of cleaning up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This deployment will enable us to study the system's efficiency and durability over time. Once the buoyant plastic is captured, it will be concentrated at the water's surface along the barriers for easy gathering and disposal." The company estimates that a 62-mile stationary cleanup array can remove 42% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch over 10 years, representing a total of 70,320,000 kilograms of plastic waste. If the trial period proves successful, other ocean cleanup floating barriers, known as gyres, could be placed around the world to tackle the 8 million tons of plastic in the seas. However, not everyone is convinced about whether or not the ocean cleaning plans will be successful. Deep Sea News outlined an analysis of the project and its feasibility, addressing issues like biofouling of the equipment, which it claimed had not been properly thought out. Slat has a team of 100 oceanographers, naval engineers, translators, and designers on hand to develop the technology. He began the ocean cleanup with a crowdfunding campaign last year that raised $2 million, $1.3 million. Earlier this year, Dr. Jenna Jamek, a researcher from the University of Georgia in the U.S., said we are becoming overwhelmed by our waste and warned how dangerous it is to sea life. Turtles can mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and eat them. The bags then block their stomachs, which causes them to starve to death. Seabirds also often mistake floating plastic for food. Over 90% of fulmars found dead around the North Sea have plastic in their stomachs. It is also feared that it could harm our health to eat fish that have consumed plastic. The university researchers estimated that between 4.7 million and 12.7 million tons of plastic made its way into the world's oceans in 2010, with a best estimate of 8 million tons. The figure is expected to rise each year. Between 2010 and 2025, some 155 million tons of plastic could be dumped into the ocean, enough to fill 100 bags per foot of coastline. Piled one on top of the other, the bags would create a wall of rubbish 100 feet, 30 meters, high.